In this lesson, we're going to go over variables. So you'll hear this word a lot in computer science. So what is a variable? The way I think of it is it's simply a container for something. So we have here on the slide a box, a container of something. The first thing you do, the variable, is assign a value. So we'll name our variable. In this case, we're just going to call it A. And then to assign a value to it, we write equals. That's important. This is not A equals something like in math. It's saying A is assigned to this. Now, you can assign a number, a letter, a character, a whole slew of different things, but assignment to something. So in this case, we're simply going to say A is equal to 5. Now, we're saying this is our container A, and we're going to put the number 5 in it. And then throughout our code, we can use this container as many times as we want and as many different places as we want. Sometimes we can change that value. So later on in our code, we want A to equal 5. We simply grab our container. It has a 5 in it. But if later on in our code, we want it to equal, say, something like 10, 5 gets taken out of the container, and 10 gets put in. So remember, variables, they're just containers for information, whether that be a number, a letter, a function. Variables can be assigned to any number of things. So let's see what that looks like in the code. Go over to your Python editor. And again, so we'll start with just A and then equals, let's just say 5. Hit enter. Now it's not going to print anything out like previously when we were doing strings. It's just telling Python, hey, A is going to equal 5. Try something else. Say B equals 3. Hit enter. Now, A and B are now stored within Python with those values. So at any time in your program you need A or B, you can simply call them. Now we'll get into what's called a print statement. A print statement simply prints something to the screen. So we'll say print, and you're going to do a parentheses. The parentheses, it's just telling Python, hey, print whatever is inside these parentheses. So we can put a string in here. And it'll print it. We can put a number. Again, parentheses. It'll print the number. And it'll also print our variable. So let's say we want to print A. There it is. Let's say we want to print B, parenthesis, B, close parenthesis, and enter. There you go. Now variables, you can print more than one. So let's say we want to print A and B. So parentheses, A, and then plus B, close parentheses, hit enter, and it does the addition for us. Now let's say we want to assign a string to something. So let's say C equals, and we'll just assign it a string. Can't type today. So again, hit enter. You're not going to see it print. You're just telling Python, hey, C is equal to this string of hello. So if we want to print C, open parentheses C, close parentheses, and hit enter. There you go. Now you can concatenate strings. So let's say D is going to equal world. Hit enter. Again, you're just telling Python, hey, D is equal to this. Let's say we want to print both of those, C and D. Say print, open parentheses, C plus D, close parentheses, and enter. Now, as you can notice, we don't have space in between these two. And again, it's because we didn't put a space here. So let's say we want to put that space in there. Variables can be changed. So let's say D is going to equal to quote, single quote, space, world, close parentheses, hit enter. Now we just told Python, hey, D used to equal world, but now D is equal to space world. So if we print parenthesis C plus D again, it puts that space in there. So as you can see, you can change the value of a variable as you go through Python. That can come back to haunt you in many cases, but just know that you can do it. Just in review, so variables are simply a container, at least that's the way I think of them, and you assign something to them. You put something in that container, and then you can use that container, you can pick up that box and use it anywhere in your code. And then you can change whatever's inside that container. Just like a real world container, you can put something in it, but you can also take something out and put something new inside of it. That's all for this lesson. I'll see you in the next.